Cooking fish, specifically pan frying fish. We're going to cook our fat fish and also our lean fish. So what we have is we have our salmon here that we'll put skin side down into the pan. And then we have our orange roughy that we'll put also skin side down into the pan. Now when I say skin side down, I'm not talking about the actual skin that's on the fish. I'm talking about the skin that was there. Most of the time you'll buy fish that doesn't have skin. So you have to kind of think about the side that has the skin on it. That's usually the side you put in first because that's usually what we call the presentation side. So we want to be able to present the nicest side possible versus doing one side really nice, the other side not so well. You want to present the nicest side. So what we have is we've got our white fish here, we've got our fat fish here, and you can hear that it's cooking. Now, I've got the light fish, the orange roughy, is actually skinless. So I put it skin side down, but it's skinless. The salmon, on the other hand, actually has the skin on it. This is how you can skin a fish really easily, very effectively, with almost no waste. So what we do is, as they're cooking here, they'll cook very, very fast. That's another thing you'll notice about cooking fish, is it goes very, very fast. So as it's cooking here, I'll flip the white fish over, and then I'll go ahead and flip my salmon over. And you can see on the salmon that the skin is actually starting to peel away. At this point, you can grab some tongs, or you can just take your hand and you can actually just pull that skin right off. That way, you don't worry about trying to get it off with a knife. If you try to get it off with a knife, chances are you lose a lot of meat that way. Now, when you're cooking fish, being able to tell it's done is a critical factor because the fish is done when it's nice, light, flaky. Okay? A lot of times when people overcook fish, it's real dry, it's real chalky, and they don't like the taste of it or the texture. But properly cooked fish, wonderful. But just remember, it comes off in big flakes versus those tiny little small chalky flakes. So here, with our orange roughy, we can take this out of the pan, and you'll notice that on the edge here, it's nice, light, great big chunks, perfect. Just how we want it. We want those great big chunks. Okay, with our salmon, same thing. Hasn't taken us very long to cook it, but you'll notice on the salmon, that's a nice golden brown color. That's exactly what you want, that nice golden brown. Because that shows that it's got a little bit of a crust on it, but also a nice presentation. Somebody sees a nice crispy piece of salmon with that golden brown color on it, they know it was cooked perfectly. So what I'll do is I'll turn my heat off here in the pan. The pan has a lot of heat in it still, so by turning off the flame, it's still cooking because it's still in a hot pan because that pan holds all that heat in there. So here, I can see if my salmon's going to be done. Now, most of the time you can just push on it. It'll actually just pull apart in those big flakes, and you can see if it's done or not. Now this part is definitely done, the thinner part. The thicker part is going to take a little bit longer. That's another challenge with fish, is that you can't really pound out the fish. The protein fibers don't work out that well. So trying to get a nice consistent cut of fish from the butcher is very, very important. So remember, when fish is done, nice, big, white, flaky flakes. The great big flakes, not the small chalky ones, big flakes. But also remember too, that to get a better yield or a better use out of the fish, always lay it skin side down first, flip it over, and then just peel it off.